friends, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. Thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome to another weekly reading vlog. I really want to focus on some romance books that I've had my eye on for quite a while. So a couple options that I have, I don't really know what I want to start with at this point. The first one is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I have a feeling I'm definitely going to get to this one this week because it's one of my books that's on my 22 for 22 list. I haven't been in a huge fantasy mood lately. However, Scarlett St. Clair's fantasies are quite surface level, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's not going to be heavy world building and a lot of like thinking and wrapping my head around the world in order to understand what's going on. It's much more focused on her writing is much more focused on the relationships, and so hopefully this one won't be too intensive in terms of world building and it will just be like a fun time. The other options that I have are on my Kindle. One of them is Gothicana, which is by Runix. I hope that's how you say that author's name. And it is a dark academia, dark gothic romance, which sounds like all of me in a cup of tea. Like, that just sounds so amazing. I just want things that are gonna be like easy to get through so that I don't just like stop reading because I'm kind of, I don't know, in a weird place with my reading at the moment. The other book that I have as an option is Carnage by Sarah Bailey. This is a dark romance reverse harem that is kind of a Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse retelling, but it takes place in the real world type thing. So there's four men, Prescott, Ellis, Drake, Francis, and West, who run the financial industry like kings. But a girl, Scarlett, was the fifth until she was ripped away from her life. The only trace of her was dust in the wind. One day she returned to the city and sought us out, but Scarlett couldn't remember who we'd been to her, but we recalled her all too well. If she knew it was good for her, she would have never come back. That just sounds really amazing at the moment because I'm in the middle of the Ravenhood series and I'm just waiting for one of my friends to catch up before I start the last book in that series, Finish Line. So I think this week, if I use Carnage as kind of like a bridge book, it will hold me over until I can finally get to Finish Line by Kate Stewart. So those are my couple options for the week. I will check back in when I know which one I'm going to start with and when I have a reading update. Hi friends. I'm just making my coffee. Good morning. It is, what day is it? Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. I started Gothicana last night. And I read about 10%, like 10 or 11% on my Kindle. And I can already tell that I'm going to be absolutely obsessed with that book. So I put it down and I ordered it on Amazon. I have just been on this kick and I need to stop, honestly. Like, I need to stop buying books. But like, if I'm reading a book on my Kindle that either I borrowed from Libby or is on Kindle Unlimited and I'm like loving it, I order it and I need to stop. But I stopped reading it because I did the same thing with the Ravenhood series with Flock, and then I got a physical copy and I had to go back and annotate and pull out like all of my highlights from my Kindle and like put it into my physical book, and it took so stinking long, like so long. And I was like, this would have been so much better if I just annotated this book like from the start, you know what I mean? So that's why I stopped reading Gothicana at 10%. My physical copy should get here like this week, so hopefully I can just pick it right back up with you guys. The vibes are absolutely immaculate so far. It is about our main character who is very much an outsider. She grew up with her mom in this cottage in the woods, very witchy. Like, they both are they're both kind of clairvoyant. It says that her mom heard voices, and then it says that she hears voices, but I'm taking that to mean that she's clairvoyant because she reads tarot. She and her mother were super into crystals. They would go out into the meadow during the full moon to recharge their crystals, that type of vibe. And she gets this invitation, this handwritten letter invitation to attend this university. I think it's called Verenmore. It was like a really good name for like a gothic, you know, university. And it's not an elite university, but it's very exclusive is how they describe it. It's in a castle on the hill in this woodsy town. The townspeople are terrified of this university. It's stunning. Also, the syntax in this book, like, give me a gothic dark academia romance that has the writing style to back it up, like, and I appreciate it when it's done very well. So as you can tell from the 10% that I read, my hopes are very high with this book. It has really good ratings on Goodreads, and I am just so excited to read more. Then after I put that down last night, I read the first 2 chapters of Carnage. I forget who that's by Sarah Bailey. And I decided I'm going to pass on it because of the writing was just a little bit too cringe for me. It starts off with the like male's perspective, or like, I don't know why I'm saying male, it's not a fae. The guy's perspective. And he's like,
I'm the shit, like, we don't relate to mortals, like, we don't have any morals, like.
No. Like, he was just like, I'm bad, like, we're bad, like, me and my 4 friends that, like, run the finance game are, like, bad boys and, like, whatever. And I was just like, ew. Like, if you have to, like, say that about yourself, like, you're not as bad as you think. It was just giving me, like, cringy vibes. So I ended up putting it down, and what I think I'm going to actually pick up at this point, I think this is what I'm going to pick up now at this point, because Scarlet St. Clair is a vibe, and everyone tells me that I'll love this book. So where Gothic Hannah is going to be freaking amazing, but I have to wait for it, and Carnage was not the vibe, I think this one is going to be a good fit for right now. I will check in with you guys once I start reading King of Battle and Blood. Babes, I need you to be brutally honest with me. Also, not my ACOTAR series, just like stealing the show. Rude. I just got in this order from Abercrombie. We'll do a little Abercrombie try on haul. Who is she? We do book content, not clothing hauls. However,
I'm trying to be, you know, a cool 27-year-old.
And I got some baggier like jeans, like boot cut jeans. Let me know your thoughts. These are so comfy, like high-waisted AF. Let me see if I put you here.
Like, these make me feel like a cool old person, you know?
Cute! And then this is one of the tops that I ordered as well. I got 4 more shirts. I got like a pack of 3, and it came with a black one, a white one, and then this tan color one, and they're like square neck crop tops. So this is the tan one. These are like the softest shirts ever. Please don't mind my bra, because it's not the best bra to be wearing with a a square neck shirt. Okay, obviously I messed up one of the little hooks, so like it's not perfect, but you can leave it a little bit more open at the bottom. Also, like all of these are such nice quality. Like even this like ribbed one that I had on first is so soft. Wow, stunning. I need to order more of these jeans because like I'm actually obsessed. Okay. Try on haul over. Hello, my beautiful friends. It is the next day and I have a little reading update for King of Battle and Blood. I always have to check the title because there's so many book titles with like bloody battle whatever in them, so I'm like King of Battle and Blood. Anyways, I'm up to page 50, which I know isn't too much, but I started it last night. Our main character Izzy, like her family, her dynamic, the love interests, like all of that stuff. For whatever reason, last night my brain was just like not absorbing those details, so I had to reread like a couple paragraphs, but I feel good with where I'm at right now with it. And can I just say, this jumps right into the kind of smuttiness and like dirty thoughts and like all of this crazy stuff, so I'm enjoying this so far. The only critique that I have is that the chapters are a little bit long. So like the current chapter that I'm in is like 30 pages. I hope that as it progresses through the book, they're not all like 30 pages, but it's the only thing. Other than that, really, really enjoying this so far. And I really like Adrian, the Blood King, the Vampire King. I really like him. So that's fun. I always love Scarlett St. Clair's, the way that she rates our male love interests. Like, I'm just all for it. This weekend we are flying to Miami for a wedding. So it's gonna be a very quick trip and like lots of traveling because that's across the country from where we are. So it's like a 6-hour flight. So we're flying tomorrow early on Friday, and then we're flying back very early on Sunday. So really we only have all day Saturday in Miami for the wedding. So I've been cleaning the house, I've been packing. I had it ingrained in me at a very young age that when you're leaving for a trip, the entire house has to be absolutely perfect, clean. You want to come home to a clean house type thing. I will definitely be able to finish King of Battle and Blood, like no problem. And then I really don't want to read on my Kindle. Like the book that I really want to read and return to is Gothicana, but I really want my physical copy because I know that I'm gonna love that book. And so my physical copy hasn't come in yet. So I'm using all of my willpower not to bring my Kindle and just like read that book. So instead, I'm gonna be a good little nugget and pull some books from my physical TBR. And these are all gonna be fantasy romance. So I'm gonna bring Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahrin. I hope that's how you say your last name. I've had this on my TBR for quite a while. I want to say like the last 2 months, and I'm very much looking forward to this book. I just haven't got to it yet. So bringing this. This one is my longer option because it is just over 500 pages. So that'll be good. And then I think I'm also gonna bring To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is gonna be really fun, like summer vibes, because it's about Princess Lyra, who is a siren, and she gets turned into a human as punishment, and she has to kill a human prince and bring his heart to the Sea Queen to be able to become a siren again. So it's kind of like a Little Mermaid, but in reverse. She doesn't want to become a human. She wants to return back to being a siren. These are the books that I'm gonna bring with me to Miami. So there's been a change of plans. Please don't mind my wet hair. I cannot be bothered to dry it right now. And also I think that I'm gonna head to the beach. So like there's no point in doing my hair anyways. But I'm sorry, I know it looks kind of weird on camera. There's been a change of plans. There was severe weather in Miami this weekend. So unfortunately we aren't able to fly. And I really like don't want to go into it. But I've decided I'm going to start a 24-hour readathon today. Time to be determined. I don't know when I'm gonna start. It's currently a little past noon, and I think what I want to do is go to the beach and just read for a little while, to just like get out of the house, read, sit in the sunshine, hear the waves, feel a little bit better, and read fantasy romance, which is my favorite thing ever. So probably when I get to the beach and I start reading, I think that's when I'll like officially start my 24-hour readathon. I think that that would be appropriate. I did read more of King of Battle and Blood last night. I was just in a really weird mood last night and I couldn't fall asleep, so I ended up staying up until like absurdly late, like 1:30 or 2 in the morning, and I read up to chapter 9. I got up to page 141. I am really enjoying this book. Like, I'm very happy with it. What I really appreciate about Scarlett St. Clair is like, she knows her audience. She knows that we're here for a good time, for a fun time, for a smutty time, and like she just gets right into it right from the beginning, and it carries on so well. The smut in this so far has been superb, like just fantastic. Loving it. The tension and kind of the dynamic between Adrian and Izzy is pretty good. The only thing that I will say is it's not like a super true enemies to lovers. Like, yeah, she doesn't like him. Yes, he forced her into a marriage to take her away from her family, and now there's like conflict between her and like her people, and she's leaving, and her family, and all of that stuff. But she's been attracted to him from the beginning. It's kind of that trope where it's enemies, but like their bodies betray them with the attraction type thing. I'm gonna try to finish this today. And I think that the books that I talked about in my last clip when I was talking about what I was gonna bring on the plane with me, I think that that's still gonna be my TBR for this 24-hour readathon, which I know is extremely ambitious. However, I just want to be on a fantasy romance kick. Like, these books are really calling to me at this point, so like why not just try to do it? I'm gonna eat something, then we're gonna go to Starbucks, and then we're gonna go to the beach.
Who am I? Let's go to the beach! Beach! Ninky Minja.
Okay, so the beach is freezing today. It's like really overcast, but it was really windy and kind of cold, so I spent like an hour on the beach wrapped up in my towel, and I read, and then I came back into my car and warmed up because I was freaking so cold. I should have worn my sweatpants. I changed into shorts and like the sweatshirt, and I kept this on, but I should have just like worn my sweatpants. Anyways, I read, I think I'm about halfway at this point through King of Battle and Blood. I'm on page 212, and I'm still just like really enjoying it. It's not, it's probably like a 3 or a 3.5 star at this point. I am not super impressed with Isolde. Like, she's like okay, but I think it's really funny. She keeps trying to do things to provoke Adrian to see his reaction, and he's very just like non-reactive, and he kind of likes that she's poking him and prodding him and testing him because he's just very like entertained by that. And I think that that's really cute. Like, I like their dynamic, but it's really mainly because of Adrian that I like the dynamic that's going on. At this point in the book, Isolde still really doesn't know anything about Adrian. Like, there's so much that she doesn't know. All they keep doing is like having sex with each other. Which is fine, like, not complaining, but I'm hoping that in this second half of the book we start to uncover a little bit more about Adrian's history, not just Adrian, like the history of the vampires and stuff like that, because what's being communicated is that there was one perspective of history that was being taught to the humans of like how vampires were created, their purpose, how they act, like all of these different things, and she's kind of realizing that she was taught one perspective of history, and it seems like we're going to be introduced to another side of the story type thing. Talk to you guys later. Hi beautiful angels, good morning. I hope that you're having a fabulous day. It's the next day. I stayed up until like 2 a.m. finishing this book. maybe like 1 o'clock, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a good time. Again, I'm a Scarlett St. Clair stan, so like I would have been really surprised if I didn't like this book. Haven't really changed from my last check-in. The last like 20% of this book was quite good with the plot twists. They weren't super surprising, but I liked where the story went, and I liked how it left off, because this is book 1 in a series. I don't know how many are gonna be in this series. I just felt like the beginning of this book, really like the first half of this book, is all smut. And it's kind of meandering and just keeping you entertained with smut. So I think it's helpful to know that going in, and then you really can't expect anything in the plot to happen until you're like 70 to 80% of the way through this book. So just know what you're getting in for with this. I feel like if you didn't know that, you would kind of go into this book and be like, this sucks, like there's no plot type thing. But yeah, so 3 stars to King of Battle and Blood. And then I just started To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and I am on chapter 3, page 10. So I literally just started this. It is very evil siren, spooky bitch vibes, and I love it. It's just like killing princes and ripping out their hearts and keeping them and burying them in the sand. Also, all I'm thinking of when she says that she buries princes' hearts in her room under the sand in the sea is Jack Sparrow saying, "I've got a jar of dirt."
Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
It's making me think of like Pirates of the Caribbean cinematography, like as I'm reading this book, in terms of like the setting and the scenes and things like that. I like the vibes, and we'll see how it goes. Besties. Yesterday I didn't really pick up this vlog too much because I ended up filming another video that I'm really excited about. But yesterday my boyfriend had a day off of work, finally. He's been working like every single day of his entire life. So we took advantage and we did something really fun. Last night I read, how many hours did I read? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Last night I read for like 5 hours. And I got up to page 152 in To Kill a Kingdom. So today we're having an at-home day. I'm drinking my coffee. My boyfriend is going to get us breakfast burritos. It is almost 11 in the morning.
Sounds about right.
And I am going to finish To Kill a Kingdom, and it's my goal to start Serpent and Dove. So I probably have about 10 hours left of reading in my 24-hour readathon. We can do this. My updates for To Kill a Kingdom, it is okay. It's probably like a 2.5. Yeah, it's probably like a 2.5 to a 3-star at this point. It's average. Like nothing in my head really stands out as zipline, zipline. Apologies about plane noises. Nothing in my head really stands out about this book. Like I was really thinking about it last night, and there's really like I can see what it's trying to do, but it's just really not like wowing me. It's a fun world to be in. It's just nothing that's overly spectacular. And I was really thinking to myself last night, what stands out to me about this book? And I really couldn't name anything. I want to be honest with my reviews, and I'm not trying to be overly mean at all. So I hope that it doesn't come off like that. I just want to be really honest, because if you have similar reading taste to me and you picked this up, you would just kind of be like, okay. It's very decent in a lot of different areas, but it's nothing that I'm super falling in love with. I will check in with y'all on the flippity flip. Hello my friends. I wanted to do a quick reading update because I did finish To Kill a Kingdom yesterday. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I appreciated that book for what it was. It was not as heavy on the romance piece of the story as I thought it was going to be. It was much more like scheming, plot-driven type stuff. And I think I would normally give it a higher rating, but I am just really not in a fantasy mood. Like, reading To Kill a Kingdom made me realize how far into a fantasy reading slump I am. I think I was teetering on a fantasy slump with King of Battle and Blood, but it was so smutty and not like plot focused that I didn't feel it as hard. But then in To Kill a Kingdom, I was like, this is not it for me right now. So I do have a couple dark romances that I'm still planning on reading. So I got back into Gothic canon last night because I had to. I was like, if I don't pick up something right after finishing To Kill a Kingdom, who knows when I'll pick up a book again type thing. So I'm up to 25% in Gothic canon. My physical copy has not come in yet, but I don't care. I just really like that story and I like where it's going. So I was like, we're doing this. But that being said, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. We're doing videos every Sunday and Thursday, and we do monthly reading sprints the last weekend of every month, and they are called the Last Call Reading Sprint so that we can end our reading month on a strong note. All my socials are linked down below as well if you want to see more from me. I'll catch you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one.